Welcome to the Pyramyd Insider. I'm Tyler Patner, and today we are back with the Air Venturi MicroStrike. We're going to show you how to do caliber change on this guy, and then we're going to talk about tunes. Let's go. So friends, we are back with the MicroStrike, and as we mentioned at the end of our review video, whatever you guys commented in terms of what you wanted to see as far as caliber and kind of tune to throw on this thing, we were gonna do. Now, I wanna show you guys how to do a caliber change on this. So there were a handful of comments on 25, there were a bunch of comments on 177, but we don't have 177 barrels in stock because you guys bought them all. Thanks for your business. Appreciate it. But we're gonna do 25 today, just because we can, right? Show you how to change calibers. Air Venturi has their own video out on this. And it's not really going to be any different from what I show you today, but you know, content, right? Content. So jumping into changing the calibers. We have 22 in there now. Like I said, to switch calibers, you are going to need a 2.5 mil Allen and a 1.5 mil Allen. The 1.5 is going to be for your pellet probe. The 2.5 is going to be for your barrel screws. Now, I'm going to use the little short end here because I can. We'll unlock those. I like to take these a little bit of ways out. You don't have to take them all the way out because the barrel is actually secured with two pins that are protruding from the breech. So you'll see that here in a second. And I've got those two screws popped up a bit. Now, because there are the two pins there, like I mentioned, you might not be able to just pull the barrel off. And that's not a bad thing. But we are going to need a mallet or something like that to tap on this front sight post to get things moving. This is the part where I run and go grab one. Unless you have something heavy.
I don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
As always, anytime you are changing calibers, working on your PCPs in any way, shape, or form, actually any air gun, make sure it is safe, clear, there's nothing in the barrel. If you are doing something more invasive, of course, degas the gun. In this case, for changing calibers, we don't have to, but take all of the necessary safety precautions, eyeglasses, all of those things before you start working on your gun. Now, normally we'd use like a little rubber tip mallet or something, but I don't know where mine is. So I'm not advising you guys do this, but I'm just gonna use the other barrel shroud. Remember, this front sight post here is polymer, so you're not gonna hurt anything, right? You just make sure you don't hit them together. Pretty easy. You see, I got that pin system exposed there, so you can see those two pins, and from there, we just kind of wiggle woggle ourselves out. There we go. So you've got your pins exposed there, and you can see the corresponding holes on top of the shroud. And this is our 22 barrel. You've got two O-rings here. Anytime you have the barrel out, like if I was gonna convert this back to 22 caliber, I'd probably wanna give a little lube, a little bit of silicone grease on these two O-rings, just food for thought for the future. Once we have the barrel assembly out, we take our 1.5 mil Allen. I'll put this down so Brian can see it more clearly. Now we're going to take our 1.5 mil Allen key and put it through that pellet probe hole and break it loose there. Once you get it broken loose, you can do the rest with your fingers, just like so. I'm going to just remove them here so you guys can see it. You can see we are exposing those threads. Okay, now we've got it out here, and what you'll notice when it comes all the way out, two things that we will call out here. One is the orientation of this washer. So you can see that it is, I guess, convex, right? In terms of which end is pointing to the front of the probe. You are gonna wanna put it on in the same orientation. So we'll take the probe out, set it off to the side, and there you can see your washer. Now we are gonna take our washer in the same orientation, throw it on to our threaded portion, just like so, and then we'll slide it in. You can certainly use gravity as your friend here, especially if you have bigger fingers and can't really work it through the opening in the breech there. And I'm just gonna get it started. You guys can see it there. Again, if you want to use gravity as your friend, set it up sideways or on the buttstock here. And go. You're gonna wanna take that 1.5 mil again through the hole and just get yourself all the way tightened down. You don't have to go crazy here, but you do wanna make sure it's tight. So that's about as far as I can go without bending the Allen key, and that should be more than good enough. Now, when I install the barrel, I am going to open the breech up just a touch. I don't want the end of the barrel to slam into the end of the probe. Pulling it out, not such a concern. You could certainly do the same thing, but you just wanna make sure that you have the necessary clearance so you're not breaking anything. When you install it, you line the barrel assembly up like so, get it going. It will jump past the O-rings, so you can see it jump in there. And then once we hit the pins, you just gotta make sure you are properly aligned, snaps right over, and you're pretty much good to go. The only other thing we need to do now is tighten down those set screws with our 2.5 mil Allen. All right, and there we go. We've getting our second set screw tightened down. Again, just get these nice and snug. You don't have to go crazy, but you definitely want to make sure that they're not moving anymore. All good there. And then you just want to simply verify function of everything. Make sure that you're not getting any clearance issues or clipping or anything like that. We can decock it. We are good to go. It's moving nicely through there. And now we've got a 25 cal MicroStrike. Very, very easy to do. Now let's talk about tunes. Now, before we get into the actual process of tuning this MicroStrike, I wanted to tell you guys, if you don't want to do this yourself, okay, you can pay us to do it for you. One of our techs will handle that, get it all set up. But I want to point you to two things. If you go onto the product page for the MicroStrike and you check out that tune service section, it will show you that there are two types of tunes you can select, an Eco tune and a Pro Power tune. Now, if you compare the Pro Power tune numbers to the max power ratings for the MicroStrike, you will notice that our tunes do not max out the power that this gun is capable of. And there's a reason for that. We set up these tunes to give you at least a full magazine worth of shots from a full fill. And for the Eco tune, we're trying to maximize shot count without sacrificing good accuracy. Those are the things to keep in mind when you are looking at those tunes. But I'm gonna save you some money so you can spend it on pellets or other accessories here and show you how to tune it yourself. Here we go. To get that reg adjustment done, you will need a 3mm Allen. And the first thing we're gonna do, because we can't turn this reg adjustment knob here under pressure, we are gonna degas. Feel the wind in your hair. Yeah. Now, this degas is pretty quick because you've only got like 80 cc's worth of air, so that is nice, which also means conversely that when you fill this up, it is not gonna take too much effort to fill, which is good. Now, on the regulator adjustment kind of knob thread thing here, you have on the bottom of your MicroStrike a little, you turn it this way and it increases the pressure, and you turn it that way and it'll decrease. So we're just gonna give it a little bump. Normally I'd put a little mark on this or something, maybe a little Sharpie or something like that, but I gave it, you guys just saw, not very much of a turn, and we're gonna see what that does. I'm gonna re-tighten down my bleed screw just so I don't waste a bunch of air when I go to fill this. Let me grab my tank and we'll throw some air in it. There we go. All right, fill probe is in. Now, I am gonna position this so you guys can keep an eye on that reg gauge, and I will take the fill gauge. Sound good? All right, great. All right, 100 bar. Yes. We're gonna put about 3,000 PSI in it because I can't imagine that I set the reg that high with just a small little tweak of the adjustment there. There we go. Let's see where we're at. Now, if you can see that reg gauge pretty clearly, it's at about just over 2,000 PSI. So we should be in a pretty good place to still get one good magazine once we start messing with the hammer spring. So I'm gonna fill this up to 4350 now, and we will see you out at the range once we start playing with that adjustment. All right, friends, so we're just a touch under 300 bar here. And like I said in the studio, about 2200 on the reg. So probably a little hotter than what my tech guys are telling me they're setting these at, but that's okay. We have a quarter turn in on the hammer spring. So it's basically all the way backed out. What I'm looking for here, these are 33.9 JSBs I've got loaded in the magazine. Let's see how it does first. Establish a baseline. Then if it's nice and consistent, might not even touch it.
639.
Okay.
639. 640. 640. 640. 641. 640. 641.
8 shots, like 2 foot per second deviation for a full magazine. I went from, let's say, 4,200 down to 2,900 PSI fill. I can't really fault that. That's great consistency. And we've got more shots to spare. Psh. Let's just take this down range and see what it does. We got 33.9s, we got kings, we got some other stuff to test. Let's put some stuff on paper and see what happens. Here we go. Crushed it. Left again. JSPs go left. Wow, stellar result. Can't beat that. All right, guys, so fresh out the tune here with the 25 cal MicroStrike. Now, this is JSB King Heavies, the regular King Heavies, 33.9, a 0.98 inch group, so just under 1 inch, but like we got better. You guys just saw it. I don't have to tell you this. JSB Kings 25 4s, 0.7 inches. That's solid. I'm quite happy with that. And then the JSB King Heavy Mark IIs, the Mark IIs are at 0.64. That is very solid. These are both, you know, these two groups here are both, you know, very solid. Minute of squirrel head, 45 yards, that's a good distance, right? Now we're gonna put those King Heavy Mark IIs back over the chronograph, get a full shot string, and see exactly what this gun is doing. Again, we didn't touch the hammer spring. All right, so there's more to go here. You can crank the reg a little bit. You probably juice the hammer spring a little bit more. But this is really solid. Getting, you know, 8 shots at the very minimum. Let's see what those totals look like. And then we'll see you back in studio. Here we go. Now, to be fair to the gun here, guys, we probably get 1 or 2 more shots than what you are seeing on this string because I could only get about 4,100 PSI out of our compressor that is at the range. But wow, 2,200 PSI on the reg setting, just a half turn in on that hammer spring, 33.95 JSB King Heavy Mark IIs, 13 shots with a spread of just 4 feet per second, a standard deviation of 1, an average of 641 feet per second gives us 30.9 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle for 13 shots with basically no fluctuation. Phenomenal numbers. Awesome stuff. This is what I call a productive day. Not only did we switch from 22 to 25 on this little MicroStrike, but we showed you how to juice up that Rega touch and get very, very solid performance without having to touch the hammer spring. That was pure luck, guys. Like, there is some playing with this required depending on exactly where your reg's gonna fall to get optimized performance. But this tune is actually really solid. 30.5 foot-pounds, 640s range with 33.95s that shoot 0.65 5/8 group. Where's bad, guys? You're gonna tell me in the comments because you guys are so negative, so negative. Show me some positivity down below. What'd you think of the MicroStrike in this 25 with a little tune thrown on there? Let us know. If you want to see anything else, maybe 2 videos is a lot, but maybe we'll give you a 3rd because I really want to see what this thing does in 177. That's just me. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. We appreciate it a ton. Thank you all for watching. Go buy one of these if you haven't already. They're a lot of fun. We'll see you next time.